Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Tracy from Bailey's Furniture Boutique, and today we're going to be making a decoupage tray using the reverse decoupage method. This is just a glass tray that I picked up somewhere at a thrift store. This paper that we're using, I have a handful of these. If you would like one, let me know, comment below. I am a retailer for Decoupage Queen, and this paper is called Iveta's Hand Painted Checks. This particular one is a size A3, which is 11.7 inches by 16.5 inches. And we're not going to be using the whole thing, but we're going to use some of it. And we are going to make a Mackenzie Child's dupe out of this. And so what we're going to do first is turn our tray upside down. And I want to measure a little bit to see where to cut it. And we're going to go right here. And I'm going to use a paintbrush with some water on it. Never throw away your scraps because you can always use these for something. I have a whole box of scraps and I make craft projects out of them all the time. I'm just going to go ahead and take the rest of these edges off. I hope you all are enjoying my videos. I just started this channel. And I'm enjoying showing you all how I use these products. If you're local to the Triangle area of North Carolina, we have space inside Lexi and the Chi in Dunn, North Carolina. And we have exciting things coming there soon. So if you want to follow our Facebook page for those announcements, it's Bailey's Furniture Boutique on Facebook. You can also find us on Instagram, TikTok, and I think we just started Eliminate as well, but I don't go on there very often. The Facebook page is the most up to date. Okay, so what we're going to do is lay this down. We're doing reverse decoupage, so we're going to do it underneath. So this tray, you'll be able to see the image through the tray. Okay. And I've made my paper down to size that we're going to need. Now I'm going to use the Pentart 2-in-1 varnish glue. I'm a retailer for this as well. Mod Podge will work, or any of the mediums from the other companies. And I'm just going to generously put this on here. You don't want it too thick, but you do want a generous layer. Because unlike a napkin is much thinner than this rice paper, so if you miss a couple spots, you can put it over top the napkin and it'll go through. You're going to have a more difficult time with the rice paper. It's a little bit thicker. Okay, so we have this everywhere. So what I'm going to do is start putting this down, and I want to make sure that I'm down everywhere. And you can use, sometimes I use a glove, it works better. You can use some balled up saran wrap. The glove sometimes works better to get it smoothed. I'm just going to smooth this out. And after I'm done smoothing this part out, we'll do the sides. Okay. And what I'm going to do is cut them a little bit so they fold down. And I'm going to put a little bit more over here. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing on this side. Whenever you have a rounded edge, it's a little bit more challenging to get it down without a lot of wrinkles. But sometimes if you cut it like that, you can put it where you need it to go. And we can fine tune this after it dries. And I do have a couple wrinkles, and that's okay. Alright. I have it down. Now what I'm going to do is go back over it. This is the 2-in-1 varnish and the glue. So we got the glue, we got the paper glued down to the tray, and now we're going to go over it. And I forgot to do something I was going to do, and it's too late now. But if you wanted to, on the paper itself, before we attached it to the tray, you could have put a little gold with some Pentart gold wax paste to make it more look like Mackenzie Child's pattern. But this will work for what we're doing. And I'll show you that gold wax paste in just a moment. We're going to use it on the edges of the tray as well. Okay, and I have a generous layer down. And so I'm going to go ahead and give it a quick dry, but before I do that, I'm going to show you real quick the gold wax pastes. I have it in several colors. This is the gold, and it's from Pentart, the same as the glue varnish. And this is what it looks like, and we're going to use this later on. Alright, I'm going to give it a quick dry so we can take off the excess. And I'm using a heat gun. A blow dryer will work. The heat gun is obviously a little bit hotter, so you don't want to stay in one spot too long. And this is a matte finish, so it's not going to be shiny when it dries. So when you are drying it, you can see where it's still wet and where it's drying. Ideally, you want to leave this sit and dry completely before you start handling it, so you don't take a chance of moving your paper. You can see the fibers in the rice paper. Honestly, I'm most concerned with the bottom, so we can flip it over at this point. And that seems to be okay. So now we're going to flip this over. Okay, see how it takes on your... So you can use this tray for food. It will be food safe. There's going to be no chemicals and no products in here. And when we're all done, I will go ahead and clean the inside. Okay, so at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a piece of sandpaper. I'm using a sanding block here, and I'm going to take the edges off. So what you want to do is just in a downward motion or towards you, just start taking it off. And then if we have any loose spots, we'll know exactly where they are. And this sometimes takes a little bit. And you don't want to use too harsh of a sanding block, because, and if your paper's not dry, you're going to rip it. So that's why you want to make sure your paper is dry. I need to get a new sanding block. And my paper's not stuck down, so we'll go back through and get it stuck down or along the edges where it needs to be. Okay, almost. Okay. Alright, I got all the excess off. Now what we're going to do, and this is what we have so far, but you see it's not, in a few places it's not down, so we're going to go ahead and do that. And you just go back over it. And then we can fine tune it again later around the edges. But we just want to make sure that it's sticking good. And I see my one square here tore, and I'll show you how to fix that. It's really not the end of the world if your paper tears on you. There's a way to fix everything. But I just want to make sure that I'm getting this underneath. And you can use your brush to move it around your paper where you want it to go. Alright, we're going to fix this little square here. And it's a white square. So what I'm going to do is take a little piece of the white check and I'm going to rip it off. I'm going to put some glue down. And I'm just going to place it on there. And then glue it down. Okay. Alright. So now I'm going to dry this again. I'm going to set it up on something here. That's not good. Yeah. We're going to dry that, give this a dry again. It's still a little bit damp, but it's dry enough for us to work with it. So we'll continue on. The bottom, this part is dry, and that's what I was more concerned with, so we can flip it over and it won't stick. Also, if you're worried about sticking, lay your project on a piece of parchment paper and not regular paper. Now you can see, I don't know if you can see this, but my glue is still wet here in the corner. You can see it. It will dry clear. You can see it in a couple of different spots. So what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to clean the inside of it with some alcohol just to make sure that all my fingerprints are gone. So when we put the wax paste on, it will stick. The wax paste is oil-based. It doesn't need to be sealed, and it dries very fast. So all I'm doing is taking my fingerprints off from me touching it and making sure that it's clean and free of dust and whatnot. And alcohol dries really fast, so you can see our tray is coming along very nicely. And then, like I said, you can put cookies in here. You can put different candies in here. You can put candles in here. Whatever you want. It will be food safe if you choose to use some type of food. Now we're going to use the wax paste, and like I said, this is oil paste. You can use a brush or whatever. I find it easier just to use my finger, and we're just going to go over it. Give it a quick little decoration here just to kind of jazz it up a little bit. And it's still a little bit translucent. And this tray has a texture to it as well, naturally. So the wax paste is going to take on the texture of the tray. And this isn't going inside the tray, so your food will still be okay. It's just around the edge. If you were doing something like this and didn't intend to use it for food and just for decoration, for candles or whatever, you could put this down, you know, in the inside here where your food would go, and it would be okay. But a little jar of this lasts quite a while. And it can go on as light or as thick as you want it. And it dries pretty fast. Okay. I think that's good. I'm going to take my glove off because I don't want the transfer of the gilding wax to get on the other stuff. And then when it's completely dry, and I'm not going to do it right now because I don't want to mess with too many things, I'm going to go back over this with my sanding block. And I'm going to get off the straight edges. See, like this one here. I am going to get off these straight edges. And then it will be done. Let me know what you think about this project in the comments, or if you would like one of these papers. I can direct you where to find it. I do have a website with other decoupage items on, but these particular papers are not on there yet, but I do have a handful of them. So if you're interested and want one, comment below. Like I said, we are on Facebook, TikTok. Facebook is the most up-to-date information, so if you wanted to give us a follow there, and subscribe to the channel for more videos. Thank you. Have a great day.